Hi guys. This is the series where I'm reading my book, Happiness in Your Skin. I also have some books to review, which I will recently reviewed the book by Hiro Noda called No Surrender, and you should check it out. It is an incredible story. I'm in this reading series where I read books which I like. Obviously, I like all my books, so I'll be reading all my books. I'll also be reviewing the books that I read. So we are still reading Happiness in Your Skin. We're almost halfway down. I'm pretty happy with it because when I started doing this series, I was not sure if I'll have the motivation to do it because it's something I've never done in my life before. I don't know somebody who's done it. I don't know writers who read their books on video and explain their books. I mean, obviously, I like what I've written here, so I realized that I do have the motivation to do it because ideally we should do stuff in life for which we have a natural inclination for. So you start doing something, and if you like it, you do it. If you don't like it, you don't do it. So it's simple as that. So that is the way to discover yourself in the process. That is the way to discover what you like in the process. I mean, the only way to figure out if you like doing something is to do it. Theory is bullshit. Theory is all bullshit. And we can do 5 MBAs, and unless you get down to running a business, creating a brand, trying to sell stuff you make, you will not learn anything. I mean, theory is bullshit. Largely, theory is like that's the problem with the school and college life. Now I feel I spent like 2 decades in just like 2 or 3 decades in just studying, and theory doesn't lead you anywhere beyond a point. So the important thing is, so when I started reading this book, now I realize I like doing it, so I can do it. So I'm going to read this book. I'm going to read the rest of the 5 books. I'm going to write more books, obviously, so I'm going to read more books. So this channel is about, it's an intellectual kind of a channel. It is not an easy channel, frankly. So the kind of people I believe who would be attracted to this channel are intelligent, thoughtful. I really respect everybody who's watching any of these videos because these are thought-heavy videos. I'm an intense guy, and listening to these videos would only make sense if you are intense and you like depth and you like to think deeply. You like to think about the important issues in life. You like to think if life matters. You like to think if life has meaning. Then you would like these videos. And if you do, I have a lot of respect for you. I do have a lot of respect for you. All right. So cool. So what we're doing is we're reading Happiness in Your Skin. So yesterday till we read the story of Robin. We are in the chapter on selfishness. And yesterday I said the selflessness is bullshit, and today's video is about selfishness. So today we're trying to read the story of the other guy, Ravi, who was selfish, right? So Robin wasn't happy with being selfless. Let's see if Ravi is happy being selfish. So Ravi was now a 40-year-old man. He'd been through a lot in 4 decades. He had been raised in a poor household. His father had been a cobbler, mochi in India, and he used to work 16 hours a day to make ends meet. His mother had been a housewife. He had a lot of pressure on him throughout his school and college life to work hard and make sure that his father's efforts did not go in vain. When he was 16, he had to make a choice between science, arts, or business streams. His father wanted him to take science because science was popular, and if one studied science, one could become a doctor or an engineer. Ravi took up science initially to please his father. However, he realized soon that as the studies began, he could not cope up. He confided in his father and his teacher. He told them that he wanted to move to arts. Everybody was shocked, especially his family and the close neighborhood. Everyone knew how hard his father worked to ensure that his studies did not suffer, and Ravi had declined to study science and wanted to study arts. Arts had no social acceptance, and nobody knew what Ravi could become after studying arts. It is still the case. It seemed like a selfish decision on Ravi's parts. And everybody, including Ravi's mother, told him so. Ravi, you're being selfish. Ravi, you're being selfish. Your father has worked day and night to ensure that you stay in school, and you don't want to study science. And Ravi replied, Mommy, I tried. I just can't get my mind around it. I'm sorry. Then mom said, I'm sorry too, beta, son, that this seems selfish decision to me. Your father doesn't want to be a cobbler also, but he does. That is life. But mummy, he didn't have a choice. I do. Maybe I'll become a painter later in life. I want to study arts and arts history. This is stupid, Ravi. Painters don't make any money. Painters go around whitewashing houses. Not that kind of painter, mummy. I want to be an artist, Ravi said. I don't know. Please convince your father about why you're doing what you're doing. Ravi always remembered that conversation, how upset that decision had made his parents. 10 years later, Ravi sold his first painting and told his mom about it, and she couldn't believe it. Ravi had become an artist, and in about a decade and a half, and one of the top artists in the country. His parents were proud of him now, and his father was glad that he took the decision to study arts, no matter how selfish it looked at that moment. So Ravi had been selfish in that moment when everybody around him, his mom, his father, everybody wanted him to study science. But he had been selfish. They told him he was being selfish. But eventually, when he succeeded as a painter, as an artist, they were happy and they were glad that he was selfish. Because had he taken science, he would have been a miserable engineer or a miserable doctor, which a lot of people in society are right now. Because selfishness is looked down upon, while selfishness is actually a good thing. So we looked at two stories so far in this chapter. We looked at the story of Robin, who was selfless and eventually turned out unhappy in life. And we looked at the story of Ravi, who was selfish in the beginning and he turned out happier in life. What do you think had been right in their life over the long term? The selfless Robin or the selfish Ravi? Perhaps the answer seems evident at this point, but it is as complicated in real life. Robin had been selfless and obeyed his parents and sacrificed everything that he wanted. On the other hand, Ravi had been labeled selfish because he did not force himself to comply with what everybody expected of him, and eventually made his decision look good. If he could not succeed as an artist, his parents and the larger society has a reason to blame him all his life, that he should have studied science and followed a structured career. Even if he did, he would have been a miserable scientist, doctor, or engineer, like Robin. Irrespective of what became of his future, Ravi had not sacrificed his desires because he felt that if he was miserable, nobody could be happy. He knew that critical moment of his life, if he studied science, he would never be happy. Dear reader, I am asking you to be selfish. Dear reader, I am asking you to be selfish. Why is it selfish to pursue your own happiness? If you can't be happy, you cannot make anyone else happy. Stop sacrificing your joy for the perceived joy of others, whoever those others may be. In most cases, unfortunately, most of us, these turn out to be people close to us, like in case of Robin and Ravi. We are made to sacrifice our own happiness to fulfill their desires, and seemingly that's supposed to make us happy. If you sacrifice things you truly wish to do, you're bound to be unhappy inside. And if you're unhappy inside, this is where happiness resides, you cannot really make anyone happy. Look around. It is a pretentious word. A lot of people are pretending to be happy in their jobs, in their relationships, in marriages, and in reality, they are dying inside. Why is that so? It's because selfishness is looked down upon as a vice. I don't know if you've read the book Atlas Shrugged by Ayn Rand. If you haven't, I highly recommend that you read it. It is one of the finest books in the world. It has had a lot of impact on my thinking. And there's a character called John Galt in the book. And he takes this oath towards the end of the book. And I have quoted it here. John Galt says, "I swear by my life and my love of it, that I'll never live for the sake of another man, nor ask another man to live for mine. I swear by my life and my love for it, that I'll never live for the sake of another man or woman, and nor ask another man to live for mine." That is the spirit of how life should be lived. You live it for yourself. When you love people, you love them because your life has meaning. You love them because it makes you happy. You don't do anyone a favor. That is the spirit of what true selfishness is. You do things that make you happy, and when you are happy, then you try and make others happy. And when you make others happy, you don't do it for them, you do it for yourself. When you make others happy, it brings happiness to your heart. That is the spirit of selfishness. There's nothing wrong in selfishness. There's everything wrong in being mean. Because when you're selfish, you free others from the foundations of all sort of obligations. You don't tell other people that you're sacrificing your life for them. You do things for other people because it makes you happy. Everything that you do in life, you do it for yourself. And that's what you tell yourself, and that's what you tell others. When you love other people, if Romeo dies for Juliet, Romeo is not doing Juliet a favor. Romeo dies for Juliet because it brings meaning and happiness to his heart. He feels it is the right thing to do for him. If parents have kids, they have kids because it brings meaning and purpose to their lives. They don't do the kids a favor. Your parents did not do your life a favor. They did something for their own lives. When kids do stuff for their parents, they don't do their parents a favor. They're doing themselves a favor. We're all living lives for ourselves. Anybody who tells you that they're doing whatever they're doing for you is a lie. Nobody does anything for anybody else. Even when people do charity, they do charity because it makes them happy. Nobody does anybody a favor. Everybody is doing everything else. And in fact, think about it. When you tell people that you do everything for yourselves and you are not doing them a favor, it makes them free. It makes them free. They're free to think if they want to love you or not. They're free to decide if they want to be with you or not because you are not doing them a favor. That is the way to look at life, because everything that you do for yourself. When you love people, you love them because it makes you happy. Whatever you do for anyone else, you do it because it makes you happy. You don't do anyone a favor, right? So selfishness is a good thing. Don't live for others. Don't expect others to live for you. When you expect others to live for your sake, you put pressure on their lives and their expectations. If these expectations clash, they have to make a choice between being selfish or selfless. It is an awful choice to make. Do not live for others. If you live for others, you'll have to sacrifice yourself. And if you have to sacrifice yourself, you'll never be happy. Happiness begins with you. And the first person that you need to bring joy is yourself. If you cannot bring joy to yourself, you cannot bring joy to anyone else. Once you learn to make yourself happy, you can use what made you happy to make a lot of people happy. For example, I love to write. I'm using my write to inspire you to lead a happier and meaningful life. I'm also a stand-up comedian, and so I write jokes and tell those jokes on the stage. I'm trying to write better jokes and make a lot of people visibly happy through my jokes. You could paint and evoke strong emotions in people through your painting. You could draw. You could use mathematics to solve complex problems. I left my job to all this, and it all seemed like a selfish decision. But if I wasn't happy myself, how could I make anyone else happy? So I accept the accusation. I don't feel bad about it. I accept that I'm selfish, and my own happiness comes to me before anybody else's happiness. I cannot make anyone happy if I can't make myself happy. So I am selfish. My question to you, are you happy? Are you happy? If you're selfless and unhappy, I don't respect your choice. It's a stupid choice. It doesn't get us the desired outcome. The desired outcome is happiness. Wow, that's nice. So let's look at the chapter summary. This is the chapter summary for this chapter. Selfishness is not a vice. Being mean to others is, but that's not selfishness. Selflessness and self-sacrifice is not a virtue. If you can't make yourself happy, you can't make anybody else happy either. So prioritize your own happiness over anything else in life. Your first job is to keep yourself happy. An unhappy man, woman carries unhappiness and discontentment everywhere because our emotions are infectious. Treat yourself first. If you like the treat, share it around. That is the end of this video. I hope you found some value. This is a complicated subject. A lot of people argue a lot on this subject. And if you have any questions, I'm happy to answer them. But the gist of this entire chapter was that selfishness is a good thing and selflessness sucks. If you can't make yourself happy, you cannot make anybody happy. And anything that you do in life, anything, you do it for yourself, not for anybody else. You don't do anybody a favor and you don't accept favors. Right? Thank you for watching. We'll continue reading the book. There are a few chapters still left, and I hope you find value.